When the stars align. Forgot I actually still had vocals in some of that stuff. I thought I had removed all of them, but I guess not. Not that they aren't great. They aren't great lyrics or anything. Just that I don't usually put those in that playlist anymore. Cool. Well, welcome back. We're going to be playing more Peggle today. Give it up for day 9, I think. Is the screen capture set up to capture the screen it needs to capture? Is it going to do it at all? Let's find out. It's not doing that. Why? Probably because the capture is not set up. There we go. Welcome back to another thrilling episode of Peggle. Will I do anything useful, or will I get stuck on the same stage for an hour or two? It's not up to me. Maybe the cruel and unusual Peggle gods shall take pity on one of me. But based on what just happened, I'm inclined to believe that's not true. I mean, that was a pretty brutal misplay, I will say that. This is the warm-up. Don't worry, it's the warm-up. We're gonna get better. Okay, let's give this another try. Ah, that's nice. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. Tragic. Almost had it. Damn it. Okay, that was nearly really good. I don't know what my plan was when the thing's not over there, but... sometimes it's just like that on this bitch of an Earth. Free ball? Not free ball? Free balls in my mouth? What's up? How you doing? How you been? I'm very tired. I've been very tired all day. It has been crummy. Let's go for Peggle. Or is that your way of saying that you're not clapping for me, you're only clapping because it's Peggle? Yeah, it seems like one of those days, you know? The kind that Fred Durst describes. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks. Oh, I like that. That's a good noise. That sucked. Rude. Give me better RNG. That's what I'm talking about. Gotta hit them with that ricochet. No! Yeah, and after a very long, exhausting day, I like to sit down and play a good old game of Cuck Simulator. Speaking of, which is a horrible way to segue into a further conversation, a buddy and I were talking about this. There is a lot of, like, cuck fetishism in Japan. Like, it's like a thing there. Like, they really like it. Like, it's like a cultural thing. They don't understand that it's like, weird. Or, like, my buddy's got a lot of Japanese friends because he was overseas there for a year. And, like, he has tried to explain to them that, like, that shit's sad. And it's weird, and it's kind of fucked up. And they're like, you remember Segways though? Like the weird like vehicle that everyone was clowning on? Forever ago, the little like stand-up like rolling scooters. Whatever happened to Segways? Damn it. God, I feel like Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal with cock fetish porn? Sorry, that's the worst Seinfeld impression ever. It like wasn't even an attempt. It was just me trying to say words. Yeah, like, I think they're still around, and they're just, like, a thing people have. But, like, I remember when they were, like, the iconic, like, shitty Nerdmobile. Like, they were up there with, like, the Google Glass in terms of, like, things that literally no one except the people in Silicon Valley thought was cool. Except now, everyone thinks everything in Silicon Valley is cool because the people in Silicon Valley are running enormous Bitcoin scams, and all of the businessmen are realizing that if they stop making fun of them, they can get money. Damn, that shit bouncing. Real as fuck. Just throwing it away. Just throwing it in the garbage. There's just so many pegs in this stage. There's just a lot of them. No. I was hoping it would, like, line up. Wow. Okay, come on. Okay. That should put me in a better spot. Hopefully. Damn it. Okay. I did that wrong. I did that very correctly, actually. That was what I was trying to do, was get a bank shot. Come on. I know I'm not making much interesting conversation. If you couldn't tell, my brain is absolutely fried. Like, I'm just exhausted. It sucks. Way too late. Fuck. Like, I'm enjoying Peggle, and I thought it would be funny for me to do, like, the whole, you know, complete all challenges and get Extreme Grandmaster, and I still want to do that, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, like, I kind of want to start doing interesting content again. It's been a while, other than a couple streams of, like, games and demos and stuff. To, like, play a main series game that I can actually take seriously and put time and effort into. Yeah, I did learn the thing with Tears of the Kingdom, and, like, I might actually continue it live. I was gonna do pre-records. I might continue it live now that everyone's had a chance to play it. What I have learned is that if there's a huge game like that, unless you are the person to stream it, don't. Just don't do it if you want people to watch. Because people don't want to get spoiled, and people are tired, and people, like, there's just a lot of shit. So, and, like, I'm very much an advocate for stream what makes you happy. So it's not about the money, Spider-Man. But, like, at the same time, there's no denying that a quiet stream is a little depressing, because then why are you streaming at all? So, I think that was why I had really bad performance on my Tears streams, is it's just like a across-the-board thing. You're just not going to win if you try to stream the big fucking game. Doubly so if you're not the first person to stream the big fucking game, because in my case, I waited. So, what I thought was smart was actually really not smart. However, it's been a while, so I'm kind of wanting to play it again. All of the stuff I did off-stream is on my pre-records on the VOD channel, so it's not like I did anything off-stream or, like, ever planned to really stop. But, yeah, I might return it to the main series now that it's had some time. And lately I've been obsessing over a lot of details for my game that I've been working on in my spare time, like writing. The thing is, it's supposed to have a very profound plot, and it involves a lot of stuff to do with, you know, mental illness and whatever else. But I feel like, you know, everyone jokes about the, you know, quirky Earthbound-inspired indie RPG about depression. Like, I'm trying not to be that. Like, I'm trying not to be Omori. Not that there's anything wrong with Omori, just that it is it takes itself a lot more seriously at all times than I think the game I'm trying to make. Like, it's a lot more tragic than the game I'm trying to make. Game better of a Song of Homies. I'm thinking, Song of Homies, that's something to do with Ocarina Rando, isn't it? I'm trying to think, because I know that's something I was talking about to you, and I'm trying to remember when I said that, because it was a while ago. And it's registering as this distant, faded memory in my brain. The Song of Homies. Yeah, I genuinely do remember it. It was just so long ago that, like, I'm struggling to remember when it was said. It does sound like something I would have said as a result of, like some Ocarina Rando shit. But who knows? The game's gonna have a lot of cool stuff in it. It's like a really big, sprawling RPG. But, the thing about it is that because I've been focusing so much on all the technicals, I've been getting really, like... I hate explaining the game to people because I end up feeling, like, really self-conscious about it. It's very, like... You know, when you're like, ah, yeah, this character is the one that's, you know, got this problem, and this character's the one that's got this problem, and these are the stories I want to tell them. Like, when I say it like that, the characters feel a lot more like caricatures than actual characters. If that makes any sense. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing the concepts justice when I talk about them like that, even though I know I'm putting a lot of time and effort into them. Because I don't like reducing characters like that. It's just a personal tick, I think, where I don't like being like, yeah, this is the character that's this. Like, I'm very wary of tokenism, especially because of the way I look, right? Even though I'm, you know, on the spectrum and I'm LGBT and whatever else, like, it's not... You know, I'm not black. I'm not, you know, female assigned at birth or whatever. Like, there's things that I have to be careful about when writing certain characters because they don't look like me. They didn't have the same life that I did. And so I need to be careful about who I claim they are. So... Wow, that was definitely a misclick. Fuck. So it becomes very difficult to write some of these characters because they're based off of people I know, right? Like, if I want to write like a Muslim girl character, like I had a friend in university who was that. I want to write a character with dissociative identity disorder. I have an online friend who has that, and I've talked to them about it, and it inspired me to want to write a character like them, like, you know, talking about their struggles. Like, when it comes to the Muslim girl stuff, it's like there's a million people projecting about stuff like hijabs and all that, where it's like, I've seen this sentiment from people that wear them, where it's like, no, I'm just wearing it because I like it. It's like a comfort blanket almost. Well, I don't know if they've ever described it that way, but it's like it's something they like to wear. It's part of their identity. It's not like a right that's been taken from them or like something they've been indoctrinated into. And so, you know, I like looking at the narrative of, like, you know, a strong, like, Muslim female character who is able to kind of, you know, have a hijab, have whatever else, and, like, just be a well-rounded character and not have their identity rely on that, but still have, you know, the frustration of having people, like, project. And it's like, it's incredibly difficult, even though I've spoken to people, and even though I've, you know, done research to, like, make that authentic, and you have sensitivity ranges, and you figure it out, and you make sure that you're co-authoring with people that can give that authenticity to it. And then you remember that those people are only a tiny subset of all of the people that you're trying to sort of, in a way, represent or, like, show. And it's just, it's very, very difficult. In a way, I'm more concerned about the optics of how people will think of me than about how they'll interpret the story, because, like, it's a piece of art, it's a story. As long as I'm doing my best, there's not really much else I can do there, but I also just need to be careful to not, like, you know, assume shit before knowing all the facts. Or even just, well, you know what I'm saying. I'm saying meme words because I don't have the actual words to explain what I'm trying to talk about, but, like, there's a lot to talk about in these things, and, like, I had to have, you know, reasons for it. Like, when you're writing a semi-realistic story and you just happen to have a cast of, like, absolute fucking, you know, basket cases, because that is really what the cast of my game is. Like, basically all of the people that you interact with, despite being together by circumstance, all have, like, bad shit going on in their lives. And, like, it's not like the premise of the game is that you're in some sort of, like, therapy, except that it is, and that's the overarching thing, is that you basically were non-consensually enrolled into this RPG therapy. and that's like a whole part of the plot, but I had to come to that conclusion that that's how I wanted to do it. Damn, it's going. Because otherwise there's not like a valid explanation for, you know, all these characters being together that doesn't boil down to tokenism, right? In a way, I feel like it's cheating if the, you know, the characters that are getting these characters together are doing so because of tokenism, which is the implication, but it gives a valid explanation that doesn't put the burden on the author, doesn't take you out of the world, so to speak. It's gonna really be tough, some of these characters, to really do them justice. And I have doubts that I'm going to do it well, personally, which isn't to say I have no faith in myself, it's that I think there's only so much I can know. But hopefully through revision, I end up with a cast of really cool, strong, interesting characters that all have kind of a story to tell that you can explore at your own pace, and it doesn't feel like you're kind of just vomiting cultural exposition onto people, or like they're saying shit they wouldn't say. Like, an interesting conversation I had early on about a character that I have named Jade. She's like this rogue character that is one of your party members, and while the game is not explicitly stated to take place in Canada, she was pretty heavily inspired by Knives Chow from Scott Pilgrim, and like, I did want it to be indicative of the type of culture I grew up in, so I figured she was probably Chinese-Canadian. So I know someone who's Chinese-Canadian, and I talked to him about names, because I wasn't sure what to name her. And I got some really interesting information where, at least in the communities he's been in, it's like he's noticed sort of a sliding scale between Chinese, Japanese, Korean, where on one end you have these Chinese people who will often adopt English names for the sake of convenience. You know, it's not like they ever forego their old name or whatever. It's just like if they're gonna register on like a, you know, for DoorDash or whatever, they, like, my buddy, his name's Chi-Chi, he's gonna put down, you know, John, because it's just so much easier. He just doesn't care. And then in the middle you have Japanese people, who, some of whom will kind of have an alias, some of whom won't. It really depends. And then on the other end of it, you'll have Koreans who almost never adopt like an English sounding name, and they just stay with their Korean name. And I had never given it that kind of thought, probably in part because to generalize like that as someone who's not from those cultures felt wrong to me. But the way he described it, right, this cultural nuance, it's like, you can't deny that, right? I can't just pretend to homogenize everything and be like, well, they're just like people who live in Canada, but different, so they would definitely have the same frustrations and struggles. Their uncle just put Sam on orders. Yeah, oh, right, your, last name is Nguyen, I believe. I can't remember. Very common last name, but I can't remember which culture. Not to dox you, by the way, but it's, I mean, that's like saying someone's last name is Johnson. Like, you're not gonna be able to dox that. My middle name is Johnson, for what it's worth, because that's my grandparents' last name. That was not what I meant to do. But point being, I originally wanted to have this interesting kind of, what I thought was an interesting subplot, where she doesn't like being called by her Chinese name because she's trying to, like, her whole arc is that she's trying to stand out. She's a very like Shunibyo kind of character. She's very like edgy and like so people calling her by what she views as like a boring or like name indicative of her past. In my brain, I was like, this makes sense. And I ran it by my buddy, and he was like, why would she care about that? Because she can just have whatever name she wants, and it's not like, names aren't usually a big thing. And I was like, well, what if I do that with this character? And he said, well, it wouldn't feel authentic. And I said, that's fair, and I'm not gonna fight you on that. So I thought about what to do instead, and I decided that a better way to approach it would instead be to have her have an English name for convenience, but have recently changed it to sound more interesting because she wants to stand out. So a lot of the earlier stuff has Jane, like her name is Jane, and then she changed it to Jade because it sounds cooler. And that's literally all it is. It's just a little tiny tidbit, and it's something you couldn't really do in the same way with an English character. Because there's the whole trope of, like, the Chonibyo, like, my name is Darkness, the Maleficent Evil God, or whatever, and their name is, like, John. But in this particular case, because it's a more well-accepted thing... Wow, that was bad. Because it's a more well-accepted thing to, change your name for the sake of convenience, having that just be a part of her character rather than something that's like a tick, or like a frustration, or like core to her identity. It instead serves as an interesting and sort of culturally relevant sort of character builder. Because the name is mostly meaningless. Meaning that it's a lot easier for her to change it and have it say something about her character rather than it being this thing that completely defines her, because she's got enough going on as is. So it's not the direction I originally thought the character was going to go, but I feel a lot more comfortable with her now as a character. And so I've done similar things with other characters where I've kind of talked to people from that culture to kind of get more of an idea. Some characters are pretty much purely off of my experience, but that's because they're generally like European or North American characters that are heavily based off of real people that I knew. Well, I say heavily, like they're not the same person verbatim. They're usually like a combination of personalities or something. Like, I got bullied a lot growing up. And there was this prevailing mentality that I had to come to understand about a lot of these bullies that was this sort of like might equals right sort of thought process. This sort of like, those who are the strongest are fit to rule kind of thing. I encountered a lot of anti-Semitism, actually, from a very specific person. And it's not that I want to in any way parody them with this game. And I've thought about that a lot. I'm like, I don't in any way want to commemorate this person, even if it's as like a bad caricature, because what they did to me was truly awful and does not deserve any sort of recognition. But there are aspects of their ideology that I think would make for a compelling character arc if that character was to redeem themselves, which the person who, bullied me, I ended up getting a restraining order against because they, assaulted me and followed me home and a bunch of other shit. So, not everyone gets their happy ending, but in this world, in this game, I'm going to do my best to ensure that happens. That was a fun day. Yes, say hello to the other person who was there that day. It was the two of us just went to my place, one of few times that you actually came with me to my place. Were you over because you were worried about shit happening, or was it just circumstantial that it was one of the only times you were ever at my house? Because things were really fucking bad. So, I mean, I can't even remember if it was I didn't want to be alone or something. But yeah, you were bodyguarding? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That's fucking crazy. That guy was insane. Actually fucking off his rocker. Again, if I never have to see or interact with the guy, it will be too soon. It was horrible. But my point is, there are aspects of that kind of mentality that I have very heavy experience with firsthand, and I can talk about. Right? I can talk about what it feels like to be bullied by an anti-Semite because I experienced that. The dildo corn? Wait, oh god, that has also awakened an ancient memory. What memory it is beyond me. but something has stirred. And, like, the Terraria text that is, like, warning you of the boss encroaching is displaying in my brain right now. Sim Mountain. That was a Sim thing? Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, he did that. Wait, was that him? No. Maybe? I remember there were multiple distinct cases during that RP of different people I talked to committing that horrible, unspeakable act. Like, it literally was not just him. And look, I blame that on Warhammer. Having played Darktide, it's actually quite fascinating seeing the cultural gap on the other side of, like, the horrible power fantasy of misery and death. Yeah, I think he was. But, like, having played Warhammer, like Darktide, and seeing, like, the horrible, horrible, horrible shit that happens in that world, right? That to me was really weird and uncomfortable, because it was like the shit he would talk about, the, like, horrible demented shit, except he idolized that, right? He viewed Warhammer as, like, this power fantasy for him to, like, roleplay as like an aberration slaying racist paladin. Like, that was literally his like, it's why I don't like Warhammer. It's just like an actual power fantasy for racists. It's sad. Damn, I might actually have a chance. No, well, I won't have a chance if I do that. As though that was even remotely my fault. This is upsetting. I've learned from my mistakes. I knew it was gonna move away from the wall, and I waited for it to happen. I'm so proud of myself. That was actual skill and strategy that got me that. Otherwise, I would have 100% lost. But yeah, going back to, like, the personal experiences thing, right? Like, why did I hit replay level? That's not going to cause any problems, right? You're still 100%? Yep. So, there are other, you know, first-hand experiences I've had that I want to work into some of the characters that I'm writing. What the hell? We'll do this. So, like, nice. I have a character who is trans in there, and some of that is from my own experiences with gender dysphoria. Some of it is from talking to a lot of trans people. Like, I know so many, like, specifically trans women. And they're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. And I've known many of them since pre-transition, and some of them not at all. And, like, I want to have a compelling story because I've seen so many people struggle with their identity, and even more so have that be a result of an unsupportive home life rather than anything else. So there's a lot that I want to say there because of just a lot of personal experience. And I feel like I'm able to do that story justice despite not currently identifying as trans. I mean, I never have, but, like, I'm non-binary and have gone through severe, severe bouts of dysphoria in the past. And I'm open about it because I think it's really good to be open about that sort of stuff. You know, even if maybe people would say that it's like TMI or whatever. I like to be open so I can empathize with people and kind of let them know that I know what they're going through and stuff. You know, I've come to my conclusion, and it may not be a permanent conclusion, and it may not be the only conclusion that I come to. It may not be the correct conclusion, but for now, it's what feels right for me. Point being, I feel comfortable writing that kind of narrative. Definitely with consultancy, but a lot less like, you know, writing a Chinese Canadian character where I'm literally not Chinese Canadian, and no amount of different identification will ever, you know, change something like that. Or like DID, right? Like a dissociative identity disorder character. I don't have DID. I did have severe problems that were coming close to the symptoms of borderline personality disorder for a while due to the extreme level of stress I was under in my quite unhappy childhood. But I never, you know, I don't have split personalities. I don't have alters. But I've done a lot of research on it because I do know someone who does, and it fascinates me. The problem with consulting with them is that I can't really ask them things because they, like, I mean, try asking anyone who's been through a traumatic experience about the trauma they've been through. They're not probably going to want to talk about it because it's going to stress them out. Hence why, you know, PTSD as a disorder is a thing. So it's a little tough to do that kind of consultancy. But hopefully over time I can kind of get to know them better, because I honestly don't know them that well. I used to know them a little better than I did, but honestly out of that group we were never super close. But I do think there's a really compelling story to tell there. And I've never, ever seen proper DID representation in any form of media. I've seen a lot of, you know, multiple personality disorder stuff, but like, that's not a disorder. I don't know if it used to be in an older DSM, but it is not currently. And if anyone ever talks about that multiple personality shit, they're immediately going to default to all the edgy-ass anime examples of that kind of stuff happening, where it's like they have their, you know, like evil dark version, or like they have like literally a different personality that is there because it's so super profound and lore and whatever else. I have never just seen a character with DID who's, well, it's always going to be a defining trait because otherwise why write them that way? But I've never just seen a character with DID be part of a collective cast in anything at all. So I'd be very interested to explore that, especially in a setting as at least interesting to me as Dungeonland is as a thought experiment, where it's a lot about, you know, thoughts becoming reality, almost like, you know, Persona style. And you can do a lot with that, with the concept of, you know, I mean, I've described it this way before based on what I've seen. It's kind of like the closest thing you can get to multiple souls inhabiting one body. It's like no personality, no alter is less valid than another. And it's very, very different between systems, but just very fascinating. I do wonder, though, you know, as cool as it is to talk about this, and as fascinating as it is to me to explore, I also want to make sure that I'm telling a story that wants to be told, right? There's a lot of flack given to well-meaning content creators that will tell, you know, try and tell a story that they believe they would have liked to hear or they would like to be told, but it doesn't mean it's a good story to tell. I don't want to focus on something like that if people with DID in general don't want me to. That's the last thing I want to do, is make something more traumatizing for them, right? As I said, even talking about DID with the friend that I have that has it stresses them out. So why would I want to put that into a game that I would otherwise want them to enjoy, and risk like ruining that for them because they can't play it without facing horrible trauma? So it's really going to depend. I don't know. And I can definitely write the plot differently. The thing is that I try not to write traits like that as like secondary to the plot in a game like this that is so heavily about personal conflict and trauma. So it would definitely change the angle, like the trajectory of the plot itself, if I was to write the story differently. I don't quite know how. But I've kind of just been harping on specifics for a really long time, is the thing. That's disappointing. Look at this Zen-ass frog. He is absolutely unbothered, moisturized, in his element. I feel like maybe there's a better solution for this one specifically, but I don't really know what it is. Like, Spooky Ball does seem like it would do a lot of good. Is there a better orb to use? I could try Multi-Ball, I guess. Damn. Yeah, let's try Multi-Ball. Something tells me it's not actually going to be that helpful. Okay, Multi-Ball was not the play. What if Magic Hat is the play? Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that just crack you up like a fried egg on the sidewalk? Personally, I think it would be the funniest shit I've ever seen. Wow, triple score. That sucks. I mean, I guess Space Blast? Well, let's see what Magic Hat does for me. Nothing. It just wasn't helpful. Well, okay. Fine. We're gonna do Space Blast. We're gonna see what happens when we do Space Blast. Yeah, that's pretty good. I won't lie. You know the problem? What's the problem? It wasn't big enough? You're right. You need... Oh, you fucker, you're gonna... Yeah. This is true, actually. I don't know why I didn't think of that. It's true. Okay, I put the headphones on the wrong way. Ugh. The one issue I have with this hat is that it's absolutely fucking impossible to put my headphones on with it and have it be comfortable at all. Because of the actual thing. Alright, well, you know what? I don't actually need my headphones on to listen to Peggle noise, so this is just how I'm gonna play it for the next little while, and you're gonna have to like it. You have to see my ears. Ear reveal stream. How does that make you feel? You feel unusual? You feel kind of strange? You feel, genuine? TF2, rarity joke? Yeah, that's right. Here I am. Oh, it's Splork. It's Splorkin' time. Okay, I feel a little bit bad. I should have chosen spin to win. There we go. Now everything is as God intended. It's hat mode time. Give me the hat. Give it to me. Well, I mean, a pyramid is kind of like a hat, if it's Silent Hill too. That was so unbelievably useless. Actually, it was very believably useless. I think I've been playing this game enough that I should stop saying that that surprised me, because it did not at all actually surprise me. You see, it was a trick. I deceived you. I had to change the sign outside my house from, it's unbelievable to it is always believable to, and then I had to throw that sign in the garbage because it was inaccurate. It was unbelievable this time, but only because I lied to you. It was not actually unbelievable at the moment. You have been deceived. I hope you think about this, and cry. Cry about it. Give me magic hat. It's hat time. The realest hat in the known universe. I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea, considering the fact that it was just gonna hit the wall. Like, this level sucks balls because you just can't do anything on purpose. There's just so much going on here. Like, I guarantee you that I will win eventually, and it will be completely by luck. Oh, it's hat time. Wow, an extra ball? Don't mind if I do. Wowie zowie, look at that useful triple score. Like, it does not actually matter in the slightest where I shoot this, because it will just go wherever it feels like going. And that is completely and utterly out of my control. Except for maybe that time. How I did that? Don't ask. Yo, it's hat. Hat moment? Really? Yeah, that hat kind of put in work. Yeah, Magic Hat kind of fucked there, not gonna lie. I'm still gonna lose, because this is fucking impossible to do on purpose, but... Oh, just kidding, I'm gonna get a free ball, actually. Like, in what part of the known universe am I gonna be able to do anything with these? This has solidified the Magic Hat meta, but still need to get my hands on one. Not that. Pyramid is probably not going to do anything of any value for me. This isn't really a stage that benefits from it at all. Yeah. The late stages in this game really do just appear to be shoot until you get lucky and win. Like, Peggle 1 is, by all accounts, from its core, a very well-designed game because it's pachinko. Past that, if you're looking at, like, character powers or the way they laid out some of the late-game boards, it's pretty objectively bad. Like, Peggle as a game is fun. These stages suck balls. They are just bad. They stink. I don't control anything other than the first peg that it hits, and even then, that's not entirely under my control. Like so. Well, at least it wasn't flower power. At least it gave me a free ball. No, okay. Well, I think the hat's coming off. Okay. Give me your hat. I want that hat. Can you not just be nothing every time? Magic hat meta. More like random bullshit meta, if I'm being honest. I'm a big fan of quad meta, actually. I'm gonna try flippers, see how where it gets me. Considering this spiral keeps dumping me onto the side. So far, so good. Give me magic hat. That's fine too, I guess. Oh, cool free ball. Oh. Triple score. We're making some progress, I think. Nothing really matters to me. Maybe fireball? Like maybe I'm overthinking it and fireball is the right option. Just destroy these pillars of shit. Having invasive thoughts of Kefka from FF6. I legitimately don't know why, but I mean, this game is going to turn me into Kefka if it keeps doing this shit. I am going to commit the Joker. The funny Joker. My eyes are burning. What the hell, man? Fuck it. maybe it would have worked if I had shot it at the right time for it to bounce back up. I mean, it kind of works. Game giveth, game taketh away. Cruel, cruel mistress. Take a lot away. Wow, look at all the nothing that I just destroyed. I just need to figure out how to maximize the surface area. See, like, that one bounced way better. Damn, that thing is bouncing hella everywhere. There's no way in hell I'm going to be able to clear all of this random crap off of the screen. I just don't see how you would, is the problem. Like, I'm not even getting close most of the time is the problem. That's what does not fill me with joy here. Okay, come on, man. I don't want extra ball. I don't understand why they decided to make this motherfucker have just random garbage instead of just Magic Hat. And like, if the answer is Magic Hat is overpowered, I hate this. And you can't take that away from me. Like, look at how much of the level is left to clear. See, that's what I want to happen, is you get Magic Hat, and then you can clear a ton of them by just doing that. But it's like a 1 in 4 to even get Magic Hat. sometimes you just get like triple score, and then you cross your fingers that it even works. But arguably, like 3 regular shots is not going to do as much for me as 1 magic hat could. Just by nature of the way this level is laid out. Yeah, and then sometimes I get those kinds of disappointing magic hats where it looks like it's gonna be something, and then it is nothing. Try Spooky Ball again. I remembered why I don't like Spooky Ball. It's supposed to have skew if it gets stuck like that, but it just doesn't do it on certain stages, and you instead just fall down the side of the screen twice and get nothing. Ugh. Well, if you couldn't tell, am extremely tired. I think I'm actually just gonna stop early. I got through 1 level, and that's nice. But I feel like I want to sleep. I know it's barely 10 p.m., but I don't know what's going on. I just feel like I want to lie down and close my eyes. So I think that is what I will do. Better that than stay here and yawn every 5 seconds and not be able to focus on the screen. But I want to do some cool stuff on Wednesday. I want to stream a bunch of GMTK submissions that some people I know made. And then maybe just look at the GMTK page if I run out of stuff to stream from their collection, and just see if there's cool stuff that people put online. Oh my god. So tired. Alright. Well, that's where I'll call it. Probably raid someone. So many people streaming. I could raid Joe, I guess. That's hella chill. In Stardew Valley. Nice and relaxing. Be a good time.